Hello, everyone. I know I'm almost the last session, so I'm going to try to keep you all awake, and I'm going to try to keep it short. So I'm here to talk about how can we help you deliver that benefits that you just see from AM Care. So before I begin, I just want to, can you advance the slide for me, please? Sorry, this screen got stuck. But while we are getting that up, I just want to see the raise of hands if you work in healthcare. Okay, we're good, thank you. So before we begin, I just want to see the raise of hands if you use EHR on a daily basis. Come on, I know it's almost the end of the day, but work with me here. So anyone who works in healthcare, if you use EHR on the daily basis, okay? And how many of you have used EHR to do that? Performance improvement, the EHR data to do performance improvement, revenue improvement, or even organizational strategic planning? Raise your hands, okay? What about this? Do you use EHR data for patient-centered care or even putting the data out there for the patient to see through the portal? Raise your hand. Okay, I still see some hands. Okay, good. What about this last bucket here? Do you use the EHR data to do value-based care to help you with the prediction of potential problem, potential risk, and potential outcomes of the patient? Also with clinical research, as well as AI and machine learning? Raise your hand. Oh, I can still see some hands. Very good. So I have seen some of the hands, but throughout all these three buckets, it keeps reducing down until the last bucket, in which I probably have less than 5 hands raised in this room. So the issue with implementing this last bucket, it actually came down to multiple points. But one of the key factors that make that a barrier to implement AI and machine learning in your organization is technically because we have external regulations out there that help like control the way you have to use the data. And sometimes the hospital operations itself doesn't it was not built to integrate data analytics platform and data analytics usage into the systems. And lastly, when you talk to the clinician, do they really know how to advance their care using the data analytics? There are also two big components right here from multiple research that say that the data in healthcare systems come with many forms. It has many data platforms in hospitals. Like we have heard from AM Care, they have 5, right? And they combine that into one. With those silo data platform, it made it very difficult to combine all the data set and made it into a meaningful use. There is also the second component that people talk a lot about. Even if you have just the one data set that you work with, oftentimes the most critical data would be missing. Observations data may be missing. Some of the critical component may be missing, which create a very difficult situation for you to interpret the data and get anything meaningful out of that. So my job here is to focus on that last point. My job is to help you implement track care successfully in your organization. So I'm going to focus on that last point only. How can we make you have a clean set, one big set of data to work with the most complete data set as you can to create a meaningful use for the future, to deliver to you the digital transformation journey. And I have two things that I want to focus on. First is during the implementation. What are some of the activities that we do during the implementation to get you there? So we make sure that you use our product the right way, because TrackCare is very well known for our very structured data. We have a good structured data built in. We have IRIS data platform in which from many presentations throughout the day, you already know that IRIS is a very powerful platform that can help you extract the data, use the data in the meaningful way. We have 5 stages of implementation, and each stage along the way, you see the end gate down there. The engage means that you have to sign off each stage before you move on to the next, which means that we make sure that you complete each stage successfully before you move on. But the one thing that is important, which is not in the stage gate, is that line right there, which is a transformation and change management, which you can see it goes from day one until the end. And that transformation and change management is very important. So in the past few years, what I have found as a problem with that last portion, transformation and change management, is that a lot of customers already have their own EHR. And with their own EHR, they might have probably used it for already 10 years. And they have data existed in there, and to change to something new is very difficult. But the most difficult part is that I found that a lot of locations, a lot of hospitals would try to fit track care into their current workflow, into their current way of work, into their current way that they perceive EHR should do for them. So what we do with that is that we expand that 5 boxes and we come up with these 3 new bubbles. These 3 new bubbles include, first, we will sit down with you and we will prepare the team with you. It's the first part of change management. We believe that there are actually 3 components that will make a successful implementation. First, you have heard I talk about the change request before. Of course, the systems has to change. Second, you also have to change your process. And third, you have to change the mindsets and you have to change the perception of your people within organization. If you don't do that, let's just imagine that you have a jigsaw puzzle. And that jigsaw puzzle, you already finished assemble that jigsaw puzzle and it was there for 10 years. So of course the color fades over time. It gets pale, the white color turns yellow and so on and so forth. And all of a sudden, one day, you lost one piece of that jigsaw puzzle. So that one piece is gone. So luckily, you can find the new set of jigsaw puzzle that is actually the same picture. So you are trying to assemble the missing piece into what's already existed out there. But just like I said, it was there for 10 years, color fade, everything's gone. So even though you have something very similar to what you have before, to try to fit something into something that's existed, it's not going to fit in. There is no one size fits all in healthcare, so you must tailor-make, you must modify the process, modify the perception of the people in order to fit the EHR into your organization. And that's what we focus on. So we start with preparing the right team for you. We talk to you about the characteristic of team members, who is going to be the lead of the team. For example, Dr. Bella was actually one of the clinicians that provide a good example of someone that has a good characteristic to lead the physician informatics team to success, right? And we have an example of Dr. Tolawat, who is a implementation leader who can lead the team to implement track care successfully as well. So selecting the right team member is very important. Second, we actually look into the process and look into the gap of your process. So you have your current process. We want to implement track care into your process. We have to sit down with you and try to understand what you have. And just like what we talked about before, right? You have your own process. What's compatible and what's not compatible, that has to be determined ahead of time. And if we can determine that, we'll come up with a gap and then we can start closing the gap one at a time. We can start realizing what are some of the challenges before it happened. And the last bucket that I have on there was the change management, in which the change management, what we do in addition to just the one line or across the 5 bubbles, the 5 pillars, was that we sat down with you, we individualize the plan, the change management plan from hospital to hospital. We come up with a good plan for you. What are some of that network analysis that we found in your hospital, who you should be talking to, the way you should communicate? Would you use a marketing media, or would you want to do one-on-one face-to-face communication or focus group? We help you with all of those. In addition to that, sometimes we also help you executing the plan, sitting down with your staff, sitting down with your key people and talk them through the plan, so then they have a thorough understanding of what track care can benefit them and how we're going to deliver it in the future. But it doesn't stop there. So we have this one last pillar, which is up there, which is to achieve the benchmark. You know, track care or any EMR out there in the market is very expensive, and we all know that, right? And to be able to talk about ROI of EMR or EHR is also a very difficult topic. So what we are here to do is to help you, to provide a professional service to you, so then you can realize the biggest bang of the buck. That last portion is to do it right there. So we help you achieve the benchmark, and I do it in two ways. The first way is to understand your hospital strategic vision after you implement track care, and we go from there. And I'll talk more about that later on, and I have some example to show you. And the second portion is HIMSS. Also, I'll talk about that later on. So let's start off with the first one, which is the hospital strategic vision. I believe many of you in this room have sat down with me multiple times to walk through your hospital strategic vision. I usually ask, what do you want to achieve 3 years from now? And then we dive that down into what track care can do for you. Very thoroughly, we plan ahead, we do a 1-year planning, and we deep dive it down into the deliverables that we can help you achieve on a quarterly basis, and we check off all the deliverables point by point throughout the year. And then we move on to the second year, right? And that's the way we help you enhance the adoption. When you first implement track care, go live day 1, you're not going to be using all the functionality out there. But Dimitri talked about all these new stuff, you know, all these new things that's coming to your door. So we are there to help. This is that bucket right there. We are helping you to adopt more functionality that will be useful for you, that will help you build that gigantic data set that you can use in the future for your analytics. And here are some of the examples that we have. These are real examples that we work with our customer in the hospital. So we sat down with executive, we come up with that plan. And from year to year, we check off all the deliverables one by one, and eventually we deliver their visions based on what they suggest at the beginning of the project. And then the last portion is HIMSS. So HIMSS comes in because when I sat down with executive, most often time I'll hear them saying, you know what, I want to achieve HIMSS level 5, 6, 7. And you know, here we are not HIMSS, so we don't really know what to do with that. So we try to read on the website, we try to understand what HIMSS has to offer, what are some of the benchmarks that HIMSS use to deliver level 5, 6, and 7. And we still don't have a thorough understanding and don't know how to help you proceed. So we talk internally and we invest. And we have a few of our staff who is certified to help you to help you walk through the digital transformation journey with HIMSS. So we help you to get certified. And how we're going to do that, I'm going to tell you in a little bit. But let me explain to you HIMSS. I think a lot of you in here know what HIMSS stands for, and HIMSS MRAM, and what are the stages in HIMSS. We have 7 stages in HIMSS, which is listed on the right-hand side right there in the green bucket. I'm not going to read them through, but just a quick walkthrough of all those 7 stages. From the first stage up to the stage 7, in each stage you move up, in each ladder you move up, you adopt more functionality. You use EMR a little bit more, and it will be adopted in a meaningful way. So HIMSS has been used as a guideline or as a roadmap to help you build your digital transformation journey. And that's that. So what we do as a partner is that, so we can help you with the assessment. We know what HIMSS would look into in order to certify you as a stage 5, 6, or 7, or even 1 to 4. We will help you assess. We will help you coming up with a gap. And because we are the vendor, we create track care. We know what track care can help delivering that. We know what track care can help closing those gaps. And we will work with you to close those gaps before you open for the certification. For stage 6 and 7, we can actually do even more than that. You know, as you know, stage 6 and 7, you will need someone from HIMSS to come down to do the survey at your hospitals. So what we can help you do more on that stage is to walk you through the process, as well as helping you to prepare the mock validation of the survey. We can also help you with that. So all of this is a journey. It's a journey that we have to go through all together. To the end point, I just want you to have that data set to prepare you for the future. You know, AI is by the corner. Machine learning is also by the corner. You cannot implement machine learning if you don't have a good data set to begin with. And we are here to help you. I am here to help you. My team is here to help you to deliver that, to have that set to prepare you for the future. So your simple next stage is that we are here to help. So if you can let me know or let my team know if you're interested in any of the activities that I talk about, wherever you are you in the stage of implementation or are you at the stage of realizing the benefits after the implementation, just let me know. And we'll go there and we'll help you. Again, to the end point, we are in this journey together, so we are walking the road together. I just want to help you transform to go through your digital journey together as a partner. Thank you.